What up, Shirley?
Shalom, 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 shalom. Welcome again to Taking a Deeper Look. We appreciate you all coming to our Friday night class. How you doing today? Oh, the super.
I'm good, Moray. I'm good, man. All is well. Little tired from work, but we gonna make it through.
We're gonna do it. It's been a long week, been a quick week. Having that, but it was the hour was pushed back, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. It makes the day go a little longer, in my opinion.
Dark early.
Yeah, you just start, darker early. But nevertheless, we thank again the Most High for allowing us to come together. And again, we appreciate each and every one of you. Hopefully, you guys have had a wonderful week, and we look forward to having a wonderful weekend. We won't be before you too long tonight. But again, we want to take a look at this AI. I had a video that I wanted to pull up. We may do another look into AI next week.
Yes, sir.
Father wills. So I want to vet that video. There was a couple of things in there that I thought was interesting. But we will look at a video tonight. It's about 5 minutes or so long. So we'll kind of comment on that a little bit. I am interested in where is this going in real time.
Yes, sir.
We know what they have in their mind. We know what their desires are, but I am curious to know how far will Father allow them to go with it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a sight to see.
It's definitely gonna be a sight to see. So again, I have one video tonight that we want to look at. Shalom as you guys come in. Again, we appreciate each and every one of you. If you can please hit that like button, we'll definitely appreciate that. Yes, we have a video to show.
Yeah.
And again, we won't be before you too long tonight. But there's another video that I definitely want to look at. Say it again.
You need to log into the phone.
Oh, I need you to text me the link. Okay. Give me a second.
It would have been y'all. Welcome, everybody. Please hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel.
What if can he
can come on in like that?
Oh, he can't get it like this. Hold on, family. Because I don't know how to.
You know how you invite people to the stage?
Just put on your screen.
Send an invite to the stage and he can come up.
Shadow.
Yeah, that's right, Sister Mary. That's definitely a factor. I see it. Who is that? Amazon laid off 44,000 a couple of weeks ago. UPS laid off about 18,000. All for these new robots and for these AI systems. I see it piercing the work field like never before because AI is now selling.
Yes.
Companies are buying these AI systems and they're taking positions from people.
Yep.
They have scaled it. Just a lot of companies have scaled back because the profits have got huge. If I can pay AI, if I can pay for this system, what, $2,000 or $3,000 a month, and it's gonna make me $100,000 a month. Why do I need all these people and give that to these people? It's all about greed.
At the end of the day, that's exactly what it is.
Yes, sir.
How can I condense my workforce? Think about it from a business standpoint. It does make sense.
Yeah.
Because I got to worry about people calling in sick. I ain't got to worry about women getting pregnant. Got to take maternity leave. I ain't got to worry about people going to their families' funerals and things of this nature. I can just have machines and the system just do this 24 hours a day.
All day long, respond to emails,
all day
respond
long.
to everything on your website.
Exactly.
It's not a person no more.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
my design for this is crippling society.
Absolutely.
To take away our livelihood so we'll be dependent on them.
Yep. So again, yeah, you're right. So I could definitely understand, but from obviously the worker bee side of it, from the worker side of it, from our side of it, it's going to be very detrimental for a lot of us.
It is.
Shalom, my brother. Glad you was able to get to make it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm about to figure out how to do that, through the phone. But yeah, I'm glad you were able to get on.
Yeah, that's my fault. I was trying to get at you guys earlier, but yeah, I think I was busy getting ready for this to come on. Shalom, family.
Shalom. So as I was telling the fam, I have about a 5-minute or so video that I do want to show. There's another video that I have ready to go. I think I'm gonna hold on to that, and if Father wills, we'll do this one more class next week. Because in that particular video, there was something that was said that I think is very interesting. I don't want to be too long tonight, but again, I do want to show a video. And again, it's just basically the mindset of these people that are in control. As we were talking, I am very curious as to how far will the Father allow these evil people to go.
Yes.
I'm very curious.
They have no limits on their imagination.
You're right, because if you think about it, they've been slowly and methodically acclimating us to this computer world for a very long time. I can remember I had to been about 16 I remember my parents buying me an IBM system. It was like the first installment computers for the home, the personal computers. No Windows. There was no Windows. Microsoft had not yet, did what, they had not come out, or it wasn't available. I remember having the keyboard and control all that other stuff. You had to navigate through screens. I remember that. Then I remember being in college where there was a time when there was no computers. And then all of a sudden, we get all these computers. And then you had to take classes. There was a time, many of us on this call of age were in high school, and you took a typewriting class. There weren't computer classes. You had to take a typewriting class. If you had to take a typewriting class in high school, put a 1 in the chat. I'm sorry, put a 12 in the chat. If we could be heard nice and clear, please put a 1 in the chat. But if you took a typewriting class in high school, put a 12 in the chat.
Do it count if the typing teacher gave you the grade?
I
was a football player, so I got a B.
Learn your home row keys.
I got a B in typing.
Man, I tried. They kept telling me, "You can't, Mr. Woods, you can't look at the keyboard."
Yes.
I'm like, how
you
am I supposed to
put your hands on the home row keys.
Right there, ASW. What is it? Right there, ASW.
Yeah,
something.
ASDF.
Yeah.
What is that? JKL.
I know you got an ace, Cheryl. You type what 120 a minute.
Semicolon. The semicolon.
Yeah.
Semicolon. Yeah. So I'm saying that to say, think about the mark of the beast, whatever that is. I mentioned something to this point. I want to say maybe last week. Coming out of Christianity, at least the way I understood it from how my leaders back in the day, how they taught, or how Christendom in general taught, is this big catastrophic events would take place on earth. But yet people will still be walking in sin and will not repent. And for years, I took that for face value. But as I got older and I would hear the preacher preach that, I began to ask myself, how in the world could they see these things happen? Because, at least where I come from, they didn't teach us that when you read scripture, space and time took place.
God.
But they read it as though it happened consecutively.
Exactly.
If I'm making sense. So when we read passage in scripture, we think, or at least I thought, it happened just like this. Boom, boom, boom. Not taking into consideration it's real people dealing with 24-hour periods in time, dealing with months and years and weeks.
No.
So when they taught me Revelation, sun turning black, the moon turning to blood, these stars coming down into heaven, turning the water into poison, got these horses looking like and the women, and got all this stuff, and scorpion tails, and it's stinging men for 6 months and stuff like this. And I'm looking at all of this, and it's saying all of this is happening, and they still don't repent.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I saying this? Because when we look at real life and in real time, they slowly and methodically introduce you into uh, uh, ideologies that they want you to agree with, but it takes time.
Right.
Watching, I think it was GOCC the other week, and the one brother was on there. He was talking about electricity, and he said there was a time when they were learning how electricity worked. The people in that day looked at the fact that electricity was being made or created. They looked at it as a devil.
Wow.
Think about that. The fact that they're introducing something new into the world, they thought it was evil. He was reading different documents about the late 1800s and the early 1900s, how the people couldn't get with this new technology called electricity. And so thinking about that, could this be what we're seeing today in this AI stuff? Will it become a point in time when we look at this not as evil, but a necessary, air quote, evil?
We do that now.
So going back to my little rant on how they slowly and methodically introduces us to these things. We've been, for lack of a better term, indoctrinated with this technology for quite some time. Video game, movies, cell phones, the remote control. All of this is AI. Any thoughts, my brother, before I play this video?
No, I think it's like right on par with even what we were talking about, where not only are they trying to monitor and control human interaction, but it's making us. I was just thinking as you were going over the what we call the luxuries, like the remote control, all this and that. It makes us weak. Like when you look at our dads, our granddads, the ancestors. I mean, they were agricultural people. I mean, these were strong individuals physically.
And they use their hands.
Yeah, and it's less of that going. So I'm not saying that I think the technology in and of itself is evil, but I think what happens is we begin to allow that to govern our day-to-day, our lives, where we don't exercise, we don't move like we used to.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Let me get this video. Let me share my screen. Share screen. Oh, so it's 14 minutes long. So sit back, check this video out, and then if you need to add comments, just let me know. Again, this is fair use. Fair use. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
What's happening
Yes,
in
sir.
China right now is crazy. Have you ever looked at something the world calls progress and something just feels off in your spirit, like deep down, you know there's more going on behind the scenes than what they're actually showing you? They're building robots that move like humans, AI that thinks for itself, and entire cities run by algorithms. And everyone's calling it innovation, but if you're really paying attention, it is way deeper than that. What's happening in China isn't just innovation, it is preparation. And this isn't just happening in China. No, there is a global race right now from China to the US, from Elon Musk's brain chips to government scanning your face and palm just to buy or sell. Everyone is fighting to lead the future of technology, but no one's asking who is really behind it. Who's really behind it? So before we even get into this, hit that like button for me and subscribe, because people need to see what's really going on in the world right now. Too many people are asleep. Too many are distracted. And what you're about to see is not just technology, it is preparation. Watch this, it gets wild.
Flying in China is like stepping into the future. At 62 airports, 557 security channels use facial recognition, so you don't need a ticket or an ID card. The system already knows who you are just by scanning your face. At Shanghai Hongqiao Airport, you can check in, drop your bags, pass security, and board your flight without speaking to a single person. The entire process takes just 12 seconds per passenger. Beijing's largest airport has over 600 biometric checkpoints, 250 automatic gates, and 80 self-service stations, all powered by facial recognition. Everything happens automatically. You just walk through and the cameras do the rest. But it's not just at airports. Across China, cameras are everywhere, watching, analyzing, and recognizing faces in real time. China has installed more than 200 million surveillance cameras. That's 4 times more than the entire United States. They call it the Skynet system, and it uses facial recognition to track every person in the country. The technology is so advanced it can catch jaywalkers, identify anyone not wearing a mask, and even predict crimes before they happen. Police officers even wear AI-powered smart helmets that can scan crowds and instantly identify wanted criminals.
He says China just shocked the world with what they're building. And he's right. Self-driving cars, drones that deliver food in minutes, hospitals run by robots, and entire cities controlled by AI. It looks like progress. It looks great. But you can't ignore what it really is. Control. You cannot ignore what it really is. It is control. While the world celebrates innovation, what's really happening is imitation. God creates life. Man tries to copy it. But everything built without the Spirit of God ends up becoming a tool for control. Now listen to this next part. It's wild.
This technology is incredibly powerful, and China is moving ahead fast with AI, while the rest of the world is struggling to keep up. We make online payments by scanning cards or using our phones, right? Well, China has already taken it one step further. There, you can make payments without a card or even a phone. Sounds impossible? They're doing it with their palms. It might sound like magic, but it's real. Millions of people in China are already paying for things just by showing their hand. Tencent's WeChat Palm Pay scans the lines and veins in your palm. It's more secure than fingerprints and faster than pulling out your wallet. Over 1,500 stores are already using it, with an error rate of less than 1 in a million. Students use it at universities. Travelers use it on trains. And soon, people might not need cash, cards, or even phones to pay for anything. But here's where it gets even crazier. In China, people aren't just going cashless. They're letting robots do their jobs for them.
China built a system where you can pay with your hand. No card, no phone, just your palm. On the outside, it might seem like cool technology, right? But it's actually conditioning. That's what it really is. It might look like cool technology, but it's really just conditioning you. It's the same pattern we're seeing absolutely everywhere. Get people used to scanning something to buy or to sell. And if that doesn't sound familiar, go read Revelation 13 again. Just last month in Vietnam, the government froze 86 million bank accounts because people refused to hand over the biometric data. 86 million people locked out of their own money overnight, all because they did not comply. So tell me, what happens when that kind of power becomes global? Because it is. Don't just think this is happening in China. It's not just happening in Vietnam. It is happening behind the scenes in the United States of America.
China just shocked the world with what they're building. But here's what no one's talking about. While Western media keeps you distracted, China's quietly racing ahead, building a future that looks straight out of science fiction. AI systems that think for themselves, machines that replace humans, Cities run entirely by algorithms, and yet barely a whisper in the West. Because what's happening right now isn't just about smart cities or flying taxis. China's building something far more powerful, a robot army. And once you see what it can do, you'll realize the future isn't coming. It's already here, and China's leading it. China isn't just building futuristic technology. They're building futuristic minds. While we're teaching kids basic math, China is turning their children into AI experts. Starting this year, every kid in Beijing as young as 6 years old is required to take AI classes for at least 8 hours every school year. That's millions and millions of kids learning to use AI before they even learn multiplication. China has chosen 184 schools to test even more advanced AI programs. By the time these kids are adults, they'll be controlling technology that doesn't even exist yet. It seems like there's almost no field left where China hasn't used AI.
What happens when not complying doesn't just mean losing your bank access, but losing your ability to live freely at all, or maybe to live at all. We used to think the mark of the beast would come out of nowhere, that it would be obvious, but the Bible says the deception will be subtle. People will love the lie, and if you notice, the lie always promises convenience.
Now, let's talk about something that will give you goosebumps. There's a company called X Robots making androids. That's robots that look exactly like humans. I'm talking about robots with real-looking skin, perfect teeth, and eyes that blink just like yours. These robots have 140 different ways they can move their face and body. That's more than most humans. They cost about $280,000 each, and it takes a whole month just to make one because every tiny detail has to be perfect, even down to the pores on their skin. But here's what's absolutely incredible. X Robots has already built over 200 humanoid robots, and they're now producing 500 plus units per year in their massive factory in Dalian. They've even resurrected famous scientists like Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking, and Thomas Edison as talking robots that can tell their life stories. These robots are already working in science museums, hotels, schools, and government offices across China. The company opened the first robot museum in the entire country where you can meet robot versions of historical figures. Here's what's frightening. In a few years, you might not be able to tell if you're talking to a human or a robot. What happens when these robots become cheaper and everyone can buy one?
That's how the devil has worked. That is how the devil works. He never starts with domination. He starts with, this might make your life a little bit easier. But every time you say yes to that convenience, you say yes to a little more control. Every time you say yes to that new update. See, a lot of people, they just want their new phone. They just want the new iPhone 17 Pro Max. They just want the new laptop. They just want the new gadget, the new gizmo, the new technology. Guys, you can see it's not just about tech. It is about dependence. That's the real agenda, to make humanity so dependent that it stops discerning. As long as I can scroll my life mindlessly away on Instagram and TikTok, there's no problem with it. The Bible says in 2 Thessalonians 2, there will be a strong delusion, and people won't just be tricked. They will literally choose the lie. Think about it. We've already trusted algorithm. We trust ChatGPT more than we trust God. We'll ask AI for life advice before we even go to God or open up our Bibles. We'll run to Google before we run to prayer.
And while we're still trying to figure out if robots can replace basic human interaction, China is already using them in the most advanced fields imaginable. China has built AI machines that can find your veins and draw your blood with more precision than the world's best nurses. No more painful needle pokes, no more "let me try the other arm." But that's just the beginning. Chinese hospitals have deployed automatic medication delivery robots that pick up medicines from the pharmacy and deliver them directly to patient wards in minutes instead of hours. So, no more waiting for overworked nurses. No more life-threatening medication delays. These robots know exactly which medicine goes to which patient and navigate busy hallways automatically. But here's something that will absolutely blow your mind. Chinese doctors are now performing surgeries on patients who are 8,000 kilometers away. In Xinjiang, surgeons operated on patients using robotic systems while sitting in completely different cities, thousands of miles away. That was about remote areas. But what if the doctor itself is a robot? Meet Dr. Alfred, an AI robot surgeon so realistic you'd think he's human. This hyper-realistic robot communicates fluently, understands multiple languages, and answers medical questions like a real doctor. China has also built the world's first AI hospital with 14 robot doctors and 4 robot nurses. These robot doctors treat 3,000 patients in just one day. These robot doctors are right 93% of the time, better than many human doctors.
For those who have eyes to see, we know what time it is. We know what time it is. The system's being built right in front of our eyes, brick by digital brick. And the same spirit behind Babel is still trying to build a tower that reaches heaven, but without God. So what do we do as Christians? We stay alert. We stay grounded in the word. We build our lives on something that can't be controlled, censored, or deleted, on the rock. Hallelujah, on Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Because at the end of the day, technology will not save you. It can't save you. Governments can't save you. Only Jesus Christ can. So don't panic. Prepare, not with fear, but faith. Fear says, what if? Faith says, even if. Keep your discernment sharp. Keep your spirit sensitive. Make sure you have oil in your lamp, because Jesus is coming back soon and we need to be watching. We need to be discerning the season, not scrolling past it. You think this is a joke? You want to keep playing around with Jesus? You want to keep playing around with church? Many people will try to repent when the trumpet sounds, only to hear no mercy, no grace, no second chances. Depart from me, you lived in sin. There's going to be no excuses on the day of judgment, because you sat on that bench Sunday after Sunday. You heard the truth. How many sermons, how many Sunday schools, how many camps, how many altar calls, how many sinners' prayer, because you can say yes to Jesus and still go to hell. In order to be saved, you need to die. You cannot live and be saved at the same time. That's why Jesus says, unless you are born again. When you say yes to Jesus, there needs to be a transaction between your life and his life. It's not about trying to live better. It's about loving God more than you love your sin. It's about a transformed heart that bears fruit. It's about crucifying the flesh and hating sin. That's why the Bible says, pay attention, for you do not know the hour in which the Lord is coming. He says, watch. That means be careful. Watch out. Be faithful. Stop listening to that secular perverted music. Stop watching that lust. Stop gossiping about them. How do you watch? You stay watchful by living every day aware that the Master is coming back. You stay ready by remembering at any moment your lungs could draw their last breath, and in a heartbeat, you're standing in front.
What are y'all thoughts?
They present it as something that is good for us, but to the point, Psalms 91 talk about how the snare of the enemy. I mean, so this is a trap. It's a snare, because in order for us to be able to live and function, we're going to have to buy into this social system, and that's been the agenda all along. Where you get, like, even with what's going on in the so-called White House now, when SNAP was taken back, you saw where people stood, or the mindset of people, because people were like, oh my God, they took my food stamps. Whatever shall I do? So they're creating a problem, and then they're going to come with the solution. It's going to get even worse as famines and things hit, because now what's going to happen is when the problem is manifested, well, in order for you to be a part of this new society we're building, you're going to have to do this.
That's interesting. Christ said in Luke chapter 12 and verse 56, he said, you hypocrites, you know how to interpret the appearance of the earth and sky, but why do you not know how to interpret the present time? That's out of the ESV.
Come on.
That's what it said.
You can tell when it's going to rain or if it's going to storm,
Yep.
but you can't look at what's going on and understand the times you're living in.
Mhm.
We're living in such a time, family, that it will behoove us. Now, let me preface this by saying we don't walk in fear,
No.
Mhm.
because he already told us of these things. But we have to acknowledge and we have to prepare. So how should Israel be moving in these days and times? Well,
Unif-
go ahead, Sue.
No, I'm sorry. I was trying to comment to what you were saying. Moving unified for one,
Mhm.
building communities for two,
Mhm.
building storage for three, learning how. Listen, I was talking to one of my ox today about this very same thing, and I seen a commercial. No, not a commercial. It was like an ad, because the people they were doing was building community. Everything they had in the community, it was like about 200 or 300 of them together. They had got land. They put on the land. They made it so self-sustainable. We don't think like that. We think we're gonna bounce out at the last second of when everything crashed, and then we're stuck in. Who is preparing? Why haven't we got land? Why haven't we did certain things? Because some people don't want to come out their comfort. Like they said, this AI has made things easy for people. This technology has made us dull. We're dependent on this technology. We're codependent on it. We need it.
Mhm.
Do we realize there was a time? Let me tell you how powerful and how deceptive this technology is.
Yes, sir.
There was a time when we spoke about this some time ago, when my GPS was the nearest gas station.
Yes, sir.
You would go into the gas station, ask this guy, where is such and such and such? And he would say, well, what you do is get back on the road. You go down about 3 lights. And then at your third light, you're going to turn right.
Yes, sir.
And then at the very next light, you'll turn left. And it should be maybe on your left-hand side. You had to either write that down or you had to remember. So you're in your car. Okay, this is light number 1.
Yep.
Okay, this is light number 2. Okay, this is light number 3. Okay, he said turn right. So now turn right. Oh, yep, there's the light. So he said turn left. You turn left, and sure enough, it was wherever you were looking for. That was
Yes.
GPS. Now, one time, did you pick up a cell phone because you didn't have a cell phone?
Couldn't do it.
If you had to make a phone call, many people would have what they call beepers.
Yeah, I have.
Which was an introduction. Even that was even an introduction.
Because
Yes,
we had pay phones before then. So you had
That's I'm going there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going there. So you driving, and you go to the nearest gas station or your nearest grocery store, your neighborhood grocery store. There's a pay phone in the parking lot. Pay phones were everywhere.
Everywhere.
And this is how we communicated. But over time, the technology has made it accessible and made it easier. Therefore, we embraced it. How should we be moving? Because with the comfort, with the ease, are they doing it just for comfort? Are they doing it just for ease?
Not at all.
Or could there be some more sinister behind the veil? So how should we, as Israel, how should we be moving in these days and times?
opposite. The word says, I think it's in Matthew, where it says, "Broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many shall find it, but narrow is the way." And so, even when you look at the time of famine, Joseph
Yes,
was
sir.
mindful of the promise of the word, where he, because of how he moved, he set not only Egypt up, where Egypt was the main hub, but he set the ancestors up where they were able to not only thrive and grow in the famine, but by the time he was finished, they were pretty much headed towards being a nation. And so
Yeah.
it preserved our line, it preserved our lineage because he was obedient. Where it was like he looked at every piece of increase that he was getting during the 7 years of plenty as an opportunity to set aside and be seed for the future. But what happens is we eat up our seed, or we consume it upon our own lust, upon our own bellies, rather than taking some of that set aside and plan for the future. Like, I think we should be getting fishing poles now. I think we should be getting tents and stuff like that, guns, to the point where you even talk about chasers, or if you're part of a local assembly, start building initiatives to save up money to put a down payment on the land. So that way, we get land near water and we start going back to agricultural means or agricultural ways in order for us to be able to have our own community when they start shutting you out of these smart cities.
Yes, sir. And people are doing it now, and they're making it work.
Yeah.
Listen, they have books out there that teach you how to put solar projects together.
Mm-hmm.
How to build your own solar, how to dig your own well, how to actually start planting. There are places we can actually buy non-mutated seeds, as I call them, because listen, seeds are going to be the currency. Hear me clearly. Seed is going to be the currency.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the bartering tool for a lot of things. So we need to build bartering systems like our ancestors did.
Yeah,
they bartered with each other. Okay, y'all got this, you got that. All right, give me this, I'll give you this. We roll like this.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
So could this be this wave or this next phase of AI? Because next week I'm gonna show a video. There are stages to this AI stuff. So this next wave, could it be another reset?
It's coming.
Yeah, shutdown coming.
I mean, they're doing stuff to purposely shut down the economy now. And so we got to get to like when you talk about the inflation is not by accident. I think when we first moved here, I think it was either in 2022 or 2023, 30,000 cows got burned. There was a fire. But 30,000 cows, 30,000, you know how many cows, how many people that can feed? Not only that, but they're purposely buying land or paying people not to farm.
They did that with the chickens too, with the eggs. That's why the egg prices are so high.
Yeah.
Even now.
Yeah. They're creating a problem and presenting a solution. My fault. Go ahead, Sue.
No, you're good. I just want to say we need to start building a network.
Yes.
What I mean by that is because I was listening to someone and they were so precise with it, so strategic with it, because you're going to still have local butchers, local people that are going to sell meat. We're going into these stores and buying this genetically modified stuff when we can actually go to butchers that have fresh produce and build relationships with them. And say, listen, man, I'm coming back to you. I'm coming here. We got to start setting up the networks. It's a must.
So what we should be doing is recognizing the season, recognizing according to our Messiah, our King, looking at what's going on and not taking it for granted from the perspective of not getting, again, I'm not talking fear.
No.
But as what Benyon and what the brothers are saying, when the father gave Joseph that dream, he told him, you're going to have 7 years of plenty, but there's a 7-year famine coming. And so he's showing them how to be wise. So I believe the king is telling us in Luke, be wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So even us being wise, if you were paying attention to the video over in China, they blocked people from their own money because they wouldn't give over their biometrics.
Exactly.
So it's not wise for us to spend frivolously or to spend carelessly in this day and time.
Mm-hmm.
Question was, is this the mark of the beast? Is it the start of the mark of the beast?
I think the beast. Well, you know how I feel about that, but yeah.
Some people may say yes. I personally have not studied it to really give my understanding on it. But however, if these things are going on in these other parts of the world, it's a good. I will say this though. I will say Solomon said something very profound. He said, "What has been, is, and will be.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing new under the sun."
Mm-hmm.
This technology can make it real possible because you already have people paying and buying and doing things with their body parts. So if it's not, I can see how it could be. Even with our phones, like I open my phone with my face
Mm-hmm.
or fingerprint as doing biometrics. So the
Yes, sir.
technology is here. The technology is here. Some people are saying they believe another reset is coming. And again, I believe these resets is just the next phase in this total control and total domination.
To your
back to greed and power. Go ahead.
My bad. To your point, you talked about that. You brought that up briefly last week. In 2019, when they was starting to implementation to prepare people for the Jimmy Jones juice. I like JOCC started that, so I like that. They call it the Jimmy Jones juice. With that being said, when 2019 happened, it was interesting because when everybody was camped into the hunt, like I would literally go outside and I would walk around, and I'm walking the streets, call myself trying to lose some weight. I'm walking the streets and I'm seeing these dudes build these towers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, if this big bad disease is out here like this, why is it that they aren't able to be outside and working? Why are they building these towers? I mean, you literally see little white trucks periodically everywhere you went. They were slotted to certain quadrants of whatever city you lived in, and they were building these 5G towers to the point that I had an iPhone 7 Plus, and I was fine with my little iPhone 7 Plus, even though it was a big phone, but I was fine with it. Because it was not conducive for the 5G, I had to upgrade on purpose. And I'm saying all that to say this: it's important for us, while we have time, to utilize the resources that are available to us within the system to prepare ourselves for life outside of the system, if that makes sense. The Father said he will not allow us to be tempted beyond that which we can bear, but with the temptation, he will make a way of escape. Temptation is coming. That 2019 was a reset, and people responded as such. People were scared of each other. Nobody wanted to interact. Nobody wanted to go out. We went around with masks, like the mask could stop the junk and all this. We believed everything they said, to the point that now you got people that took the Jimmy Jones juice, and you had these mysterious random myocarditis, epileptic episodes, all these things that increased in people that wasn't prevalent a few years ago. Like when young people start having all these heart ailments, you have professional athletes that were randomly dying, kids dropping dead on the field, unalived on the field, or well, since when? That need blood pressure medicine all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we believe their counsel. That's Isaiah 30 verses 1 to 3. We believed what they said. And I appreciate you, brother, because you had discernment. And these are things that we even talked about then when you talk about, why are we trusting them? Yeah.
I mean, we should be, again, going back to our King, understanding the time. We don't have time to be arguing and fighting with one another, because we see what the elites are doing in the earth, where they're creating their machine for this war that's coming. There's a war that's coming against our Messiah and these nations. There's a war coming. And they're building their weaponry. She said building towers of all professionals and college sports were being played with no problem. Yep. But society were told, yep. All-time high illness. Yep. Illnesses.
I mean, when you think about how, I think it was the Baruch talk about a stupor that fall upon us. Think about how goofy this is. So you got to wear a mask and you got to stand 6 feet apart. Like, so a virus is going to be like, whew, that whole shit, man, I can only expand to a 5'9" range. So like a virus is going to think, like the virus go wherever the virus want to do. So why we're afraid to be or interact with each other or think that 6 feet apart is going to stop a virus? A virus is going to get you, whether it's going to get you, whether you're 6 feet, whether you're 6 feet, 6 inches close, whatever, it's going to get you.
Exactly. Exactly. So we just want to leave an idea with us with what's going on in the world. This AI, according to the other video and some things I've been reading upon, there are 3 stages to this AI. And according to this one person, he believes we're in stage 2. There's a stage 3 that could be potentially scary, he says. And we'll get into that video next week. But again, I'm curious and I'm really interested to know how far will the Father let them go, because we know in Genesis 11, he didn't let them get as far as they had planned in their minds. So I'm almost liking that concept to our day and time. There's only so far he's going to allow them to go. We as younger men need to acquire trades so we can supplement the convenience of AI. This goes hand in hand with.
That's so true.
I definitely agree. Because one of my sisters mentioned that her company is cutting jobs. This AI, it's almost like a wind came in with this AI. One day, I'm sitting at work. The next day, we're bombarded with these emails about artificial intelligence coming, ways to learn how to react with this while you're at work, how to use it for your work. Then we have meetings with the company on what they're doing to integrate this AI into the business,
Mm-hmm.
but air quote, it's not going to impact anybody's jobs. But there was a day and time when this wasn't even a conversation. It's like it's just the wind of this idea came, and now it's just taking on a life of its own, and now no one can stop talking about it. In the meantime, the government is shutting down the government for whatever their reasons are. I'm not here to get into why they're doing it, but the impact that some of this is happening to people, such as those that actually need the SNAP program, how that's impacting them, and many of these people that are on social media talking about how they're gonna be stealing food. They're gonna put their money, they're gonna put this food in their cart, and they're gonna take out their EBT card, and they're gonna swipe it, and when there's no money on it, they're just gonna walk out the store.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have this AI with the robots and how it's slowly and methodically going to come in and just begin to replace people's employment.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Psalms 83.
Here you go, Sue. Check out this comment.
That is so true.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Man, that's Tobit, the first chapter.
Mm-hmm.
What he
Kai?
just-
Go ahead, Sue.
No, I'm just saying that's Tobit, the first chapter. Everything we need is in the scripts. If we follow what our ancestors did in the midst of famines, they were blessed. We get to a point we forget what the Most High did. We're acting like he didn't do this before for our people, for our forefathers. How do you think we survive? And I believe it's always going to be an inside man.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that always.
But it's because we've been conditioned not to build community. Go ahead. You were still talking about
Yeah, we build neighborhoods. We got neighborhoods.
Yeah, but not communities.
But not community.
Yeah.
Community is a group of people that have the same mindset, the same goals, the same destiny.
Mm-hmm.
That's community.
That has banks and has hospitals and has grocery
Yes.
stores in their neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
And schools.
To your point, Gene, forgive me, but to your
Oh,
point,
good.
think about it. Those that know about Southeast Massillon, Ohio, Kroger's got shut. Not Kroger's, but that store. Was it Schrader's or whatever? That's over there before you get to Superior Meats. You know what I'm talking about, bro?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Southeast Massillon, Ohio. Was that Schrader's or was it Schrader's that used to be?
Yep, Schrader's. Yep.
Closed down.
Yes, it did.
They recently shut down Franklin Elementary.
Wow.
Jones Middle School been closed down. The closest high school, the original Washington High School, was close to a so-called black neighborhood. So what they did was they moved anything from an education standpoint, anything from a financial. There's no banks on the southeast side of Massillon. There are no more schools over there. Nothing. Only thing that's over there is if you got maybe the local bar or whatever. If there's a bar, I don't even think that's over there. There's nothing over there. So now everybody on the southeast side of Massillon is in a position where they got to go over to them. They did the same thing to us in New York. When we were in school, we had a school called Peter J. Brennan. Peter J. Brennan was the middle school that was in the so-called black neighborhood. They closed down Peter J. Brennan and had us go to the white side of the neighborhood to go to Robert Moses Middle School. And everything over there, there's there's a deli and maybe a plaza, and that's barely staying open. But there are no banks over there. There are nothing in the so-called black neighborhoods, which is to Kai's point, which is why we need to get to the point where we start not only building community, communicating this, making each other aware of this, but we need to start galvanizing and building our own institutions and our own community like every other people do, because we used to do that. But then when they started bombing us and blowing us up, we stopped doing it.
Rosewood, Black Wall Street.
Yes.
It was a city up north in California where they poisoned the water and killed everybody in the town.
Yes.
They did it to Detroit. They did it in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we build community, they destroyed it.
They destroyed it.
Or they tried to bring in something that made it look better.
Yeah.
Before we go, I'm sitting here talking to the wife. You mentioned about Schrader's. My mind went back to talking about how this ease, how they seduce us with the ease of stuff. There was a time when, the food stamps, you had those little booklets.
Oh yeah.
And you had to rip out,
Yeah.
to pay, if you had food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
Even back then, they began to slowly transition us into this AI.
Yes, sir.
When they gave us the cards.
Yes.
With the chip in it. That lets us know it's always a progression, something deeper. So I'd say that we really need to pay attention as we're praying with our eyes open. Let us love one another. Let us respect one another. Let us prefer one another as we see the days becoming more evil. What they're doing and testing over in these other countries, it's a matter of time before those winds of ideas and winds of knowledge come across the waters. And to be actually in our backyards. And then the question would be, what will you do? Will you acquiesce to what's going on? Or will you stand your ground and trust that the Father will provide? Some things we need to think about, because the elites, those that are in control and those that have been given power, have a mindset of what the world should look like. And they're putting things into motion. So as we move forward, let us do what we're supposed to do from a spiritual perspective and from a physical perspective. It's not wise for us to see what's going on and not prepare.
Yeah.
That means, let me tell you how deep this goes. And then if my brothers anybody have anything else to say, we can move forward with that. In the Near East, it's about tribal. It's about your tribe. Going back to what my brothers were talking about, a community. Multitudes of people coming together with the like mind. When we were introduced to Christianity, for those that walked in Christianity, one of the most powerful things that doctrine taught was a personal savior.
Facts.
Meaning, this doctrine removes a nationalistic perspective.
Yes, it did.
It removes community-based initiatives. And it isolates you to you have a personal walk with Jesus Christ. But when you actually read scripture, it's a communal, it's about community, it's about the widows, the fatherless, those that can't do on their own. It's about a community. And so what they've done from a religious perspective, they isolated us into now it's about me and my family, or it's about me
and what I got going on. The heck with you, and what you got going on, because you got your own personal relationship with Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
While they have us isolated from a religious perspective, they're over here creating a world that's going to take a community to be sustainable.
Yes, sir.
I hope I'm making sense.
To your point, brother, and I'll yield for the rest of the night on this. Everyone else who is either akin to that mindset, because you're talking about what they're doing in China, what they are trying to implement with the East Indians, probably in aspects of areas of Europe, etc. They all have the mindset, even when they come over here, utilizing the system and the resources over here to send back home. They literally come over here and they build their own communities. Mm-hmm. We are literally the only group of people who not only would not commit to building our own communities again, but we are comfortable helping and supporting and building other people's communities.
Say that again, brother.
Let me add to that.
Yes, sir.
And we have religion to thank for that.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
because
sir. Man,
they know that we are a religious people. Mm-hmm. When I say we, I'm talking about us that's in Kemet, us that are in Islam, Christianity, voodoo, witchcraft, whatever we're doing as a melanated people.
Yes.
They know we are a religious people. So what they've done was gave us these different factions of religion. So now, to your point, because I'm a Christian and you're a Muslim, we're enemies.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Forget about community. Forget about putting our ideologies to the side. Let us put down our religious affiliation and let us come together as melanated people to make our communities better. They divided us and destroyed us with religion. You have Allah, you have God, you have this, you have that. And because we associate ourselves with that, it kills anything of us coming together as a people to make our communities better. So now I'm a Christian. I believe in the God of the Bible. Well, I'm a Muslim. I believe in Allah. And because of those two factions, we cannot come together to fix our cities.
Yes. But, and what's interesting? You'll have, for lack of a better term, the small caps. They got Hasidic ones. They got different forms of Ja'uri. Ja'uri. I'm going to say Ja'uri. They got different forms of Ja'uri. But understanding that they all are galvanized under core principles. Yeah. That even though they have differences, Zionistic, everything within their own sect, they still are galvanized in the core principles, which allow them to function as a community and as a nation. You got this with the Asians. They're able to do this. They don't all believe the same thing, but they're able to do this. We are the only group of people who allow our differences to separate us to the point we don't even want to deal with one another or understand that we are the target of this reset in the build. The lack of building.
Let me chime in.
Oh, go ahead.
Let me chime in. When you said what you said was real, I go back to, I don't know how real the Willie Lynch letter is, but the theory in it, was real.
Yes, sir.
And we see that now. We see what the brothers went through, our forefathers went through. That same experience is here now.
Yes, sir.
We're too busy fighting over doctrine. We want to get over Clubhouse and try to make each other look bad and start to say, instead of extending an olive branch to my brother, let me give you what I understand. You give me what you understand. We don't have that in us because it's been beating us to be divided for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the gangs. Let's go back to the civil rights movement, where Medgar Evers and them didn't fool with Martin Luther King. You had Malcolm X over here doing his thing, but nobody said let's put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had theories, but we had the little voices that was like, man, we need to come together. But those were stamped out because we wanted individuality. We wanted our own movements. We wanted to sound good. We wanted to be over here. We wanted to be the chief. And we see that now. You have leaders that can actually talk, but we got brothers that got big heads and don't understand the Ruach HaKodesh. They don't understand the things of the Most High. They don't understand what the Torah says. We talk scriptures, but we have a lot of people that come from perspectives that they know Torah, but you don't know Torah, because if you knew Torah, you wouldn't treat each other like that. We wouldn't be divided like that. Like Morby was talking last Shabbat. We got dysfunction amongst us. And it's causing us to be separate. That's why Paul made that statement. He said, mark that one that caused division among you and have nothing to do with them. I understand why it's only going to be a third left, because we keeping this ideology about our own sect. You go read about what happened when they took Jerusalem in 70 AD, how they were divided.
Who's arguing then?
They were arguing. 3 different sects were arguing, and they lost the city. Us divided, we're done. But I'm also enlightened to understand the Most High said, there'll be none to redeem you.
We got to come together.
We got to.
Even assemblies have to come together. We have to affiliate with other tribes in this day and time. We have to.
I talk to many brothers, Moray. I know some brothers right now that we're from different assemblies. We talk on a regular, and we're actually good with each other, and they want to function like that. You know, it matters just getting with the right people, sitting down and actually putting the plan in action, and put feet to the movement.
Yes, sir. One assembly.
You got a lot of people talking. Let's start moving.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Speaking of that, we gotta get up to Dallas, but we'll talk offline about that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I appreciate you all. I hope this was edifying, to give us another perspective to look at in regards to what's going on in the world or the global system. There's some things moving. These robots. Just think about your movies you've seen. One thing I have to give it to those that are in power. They force us to go to school, and they taught us that school is giving you the truth. But what I've learned is you don't go to school to get the truth.
No.
Entertainment, movies,
it's a lie.
Animations.
That's where you get the information at.
But they cloak it in entertainment, and it says make believe. But that's really where they're telling you the truth.
Where we going? Yes, sir.
So the movies that you've watched, The Walking Dead, that talks about the viruses breaking forth, and dead people walking, and all the robot movies and the RoboCops and the robots fighting and spaceships and Star Wars and all these things.
Terminator, Matrix.
Man, come on, man.
They're telling us a story cloaked in entertainment. Let us not be ignorant, family, as we're living our lives, as we're doing our 1-2 on a daily basis. Let us not be ignorant and walking blindly Let us walk in wisdom. Again, I hope this is edifying. I hope it's giving us something to think about, even in your own neighborhood. Find like-minded people and let's learn. Let's figure out how to work together. Because we're going to need each other in these days that's approaching. Particularly with the next reset, we're going to need one another. We're going to have means of how to communicate. Should they ever shut down cell phones? Yeah. Should they ever shut down the computers? Don't let anything, don't get attached to anything. Because if they take it from you, will you be able to live? So even as an assembly, we got to come up with means of communication. Yeah. Because think about what they've done. And I'm gonna be quiet. I mean, this is a revolution. The landline telephones. There was a time when it was the thing to have. Now they have them, but they're not advertised because they've advertised cell phones. Well, we already know if you get a strong enough storm, it makes your cell phone useless as far as making phone calls.
Right.
Or even using the internet. What do we do if there's no cell phone? These are some of the things we need to think about. What will it look like if a massive power grid problem happens? What will we do? How can we communicate as a ministry? How can we communicate as individuals? This is what would have been on the mind of Joseph. This would have been on anybody's mind that was given insight into catastrophe coming. So let us be thinking about these things as we're moving about. So I hope, again, something was said. Hope it was edifying. Hope it was interesting. Anything else, my brothers, before we
Nah, just I think we might need to park here for a little bit. You know, really, I'm glad you got another video. I'd love to see where it goes and where the conversation, as far as taking a deeper look, goes, because we know putting your book chapters and verses, but we need to bring what is in the Shamayim to reality, and not reality, but to earth. And we need to find out how we can galvanize and be faithful to what we see in the Shamayim and bring that here. So I yield.
I agree with that.
Definitely, I'm on the bartering system too.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, Israel, again, we appreciate you all coming to Chasers of the Way. Taking a look into AI. Again, at the other wheels.
Salakia, brother. I just want to shout out was it Sister Tracy, Kai, the brother goes to Cornwell. I'm sorry. Oh, come talk. Oh, Brother Briggs. Shout out to the Brother Briggs. It was a lot of you all engaging in the chat. Our sister Kia. Shout out to you guys that were very engaged in the chat. All those comments that you guys were making and all the thoughts that you guys were sparking as we were going through these videos. Shout out to you all, my son, Cece, of course, and heard you in the background. So shout out to you guys that are really looking at this and really taking what our brother's trying to help us bring out seriously. Shout out to you guys. Yeah.
And with that being said, again, if the Father wills, we will be talking about this again next week. Because according to some of the resources I've been looking at, they say this AI is in 3 stages, and they believe we are in stage 2 with third stage on the way. And so hopefully we can get into that video next week. So again, we appreciate you all. Let us keep our eyes open.
Mm-hmm.
Let us continue to look to the hills from where our help comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Our help is not in Egypt, is not in Babylon, is not among these nations, but our Father is our help. He is our sustainer. He is our provider.
Yes, sir.
He is our wisdom.
Yes, sir.
And so we got to come together as a people.
Yes.
Put down what I believe in, because you don't believe in, the Trinity, or you believe the virgin birth. I don't believe in it. We got to put this stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to come together, because nations are doing their thing. And so we got to be lock and step with one common goal, and that's to make sure we're taken care of should things go sideways.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, we need to be preparing. And so we have to. With that being said, again, we appreciate you all. If you can come and join us for our Shabbat class tomorrow, 12 Central Time, we'll greatly appreciate that. Please hit that like button as you leave this class. We appreciate you all.
Yes, we do.
Said, I don't have anything else. My brothers, anybody would like to come on stage? Let me put the link up there one more time before we go. Can you say?
Sister Mary.
All right, so I put the link in the chat just in case you want to come on stage. Share. We'll greatly appreciate your edification and your wisdom. Again, we'll give a couple of people time to click that link. If not, again, we want to say thank you for everybody's participation. And we look forward to seeing what the future holds. Again, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how far the Father will allow them to go with this AI and this technology that's coming. But again, we thank the Most High that He's watching, and nothing is taking Him by surprise. All right. So with that, looks like everything is cool. Anything else, my brothers, before we go?
Shalom.
To live according to Torah in harmony with the land, providing for ourselves and one another as a set apart people. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Getting back to what we used to do before we were industrialized. With that being said, again, we appreciate you all. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. Look forward to seeing you. If you can make it to our class tomorrow, we would greatly appreciate that. With that being said, Shalom.
Shalom, fam.